RKL Infamous and WO back with another video doing my WWE Monday Night Raw April 9, 2012 review results of the entire show. And Raw kicked off with Mr. John Laurinaitis saying he has brought in the new face of the WWE, Brock Lesnar. He was the one that brought Brock Lesnar to the WWE. And at Extreme Rules in Chicago, Illinois, in the Allstate Arena, April 29th, 2012, John Cena will be facing Brock Lesnar. We don't know what kind of match it is, what the stipulation match will be, but after what we saw, Brock Lesnar came out, then John Cena came out and slapped Lesnar in the face, and they went at it like two bulls colliding, and just a brawl, just ended up being a huge brawl. And Lesnar didn't get a punch, but if you look closely, he gave him an elbow to the lips, and Cena's mouth was busted wide open, his lips were all cut up, and then all the superstars had to come out and pull them apart, and they just kept going at it. So that segment right there probably got WWE to make 500,000 people buy their pay-per-view for Extreme Rules. Definitely worth buying and worth watching just for that one match. And it's exactly 9 years after their first encounter at 2003 Backlash. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. And now 9 years later at Extreme Rules, we'll be getting them face each other just in a regular match to see who is the top guy in the company and for that #1 spot, even though CM Punk's a champion, but it doesn't matter in WWE's eyes. And then we got a match between Santino Marella and Brodus Clay versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger, and this was an okay match. A little bit of comedy inside because Brodus Clay and Santino Marella was in it, and Brodus Clay ends up getting the pinfall victory over Ziggler. Ziggler selling to perfection, but I don't think that's helping up in the future, because him able to work with all these guys is keeping him in the same status and is not pushing him up to the main event status, which he should be in. But yep, Ziggler's in the little mid-card spot that he's in. Hopefully he gets back up to the top by SummerSlam, or at least by next year's WrestleMania. Next up, we got a match between R-Truth and Cody Rhodes, and Big Show comes out and distracts Cody Rhodes, like what Rhodes did to Big Show leading up to WrestleMania. Now Big Show's doing it to Rhodes, and R-Truth gets the whatever they call the Little Jimmy now. What did they call it before? Before that Little Jimmy gimmick. He gets his finisher on Rhodes, and 1, 2, 3, R-Truth beats Cody Rhodes. Next matchup, we have Yoshitatsu versus Lord Tensai, and Tatsu ended up calling Tensai out on Twitter, saying he's not really from Japan, and since he broke kayfabe, he's jobbing tonight, which he did, and Tensai ended up getting the KO win over Yoshitatsu in a whatever match. Was okay. Mark Henry versus CM Punk. But the match started off with CM Punk addressing Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho calling out Punk, saying if he's still drunk from last week's brutal assault with the Jack Daniel bottles, and hit to the head. And the match between Mark Henry and CM Punk happened, which ended in disqualification because Jericho came out, distracted Punk, and then Mark Henry ended up getting the beating up CM Punk, and ended up getting the World's Strongest Slam on CM Punk. Then Chris Jericho proceeded to throw alcohol on CM Punk, which leads up more to the feud. Obviously, there's going to be a rematch at Extreme Rules, and it will be in Punk's hometown of Chicago, which should be a very interesting crowd, since Chicago crowd seems to be a smart crowd, and since Jericho is a excellent wrestler. But I think it'll be like quite a bit of fans cheering for Jericho in Chicago, but who knows. But yeah, and now that this makes Mark Henry have 2 wins over CM Punk, and the third match we'll be having next week on Raw Punk versus Henry 3 in a no count out, no disqualification match, and look for Jericho to be involved. Next up, we had the return of Alberto Del Rio to Raw against Zack Ryder, and Del Rio gets the victory over Ryder with the armbar submission. Actually, a very good match. I thought it was very decent for a Monday Night Raw match, and Ryder had his moments in the match, looking like he was about to win, but couldn't get the victory. And Alberto Del Rio, which I still think is one of the best in WWE right now, is back on a winning roll, beating Sheamus, I believe, on SmackDown to get that #1 contendership, hopefully for Extreme Rules, and now beating Zack Ryder. And then the Three Stooges came out started doing their little segment. One of them came out as Hulk Hogan, then Kane came out of nowhere with a scary pyro, just loud. It's really loud. I would hate being in that building with that loud pyro. It scared me while I was watching. Imagine being in that arena. But yeah, scared off everyone, and that was it. Then the last match of the night. No, we did not get to see Daniel Bryan, but I will rant at the end of this video. It was David Otunga versus John Cena, and obviously John Cena ended up getting the victory. Otunga had his little moments here and there, but Super Cena came to the rescue, and then Brock Lesnar comes out and pretty much F5 John Cena. And yep, that will be the match at Extreme Rules. It was guaranteed WWE get big buy rates for the next couple months up to SummerSlam, since Brock Lesnar's here and he's nice and fresh in the WWE, and will continue to be fresh, because since his 40 appearances, he won't be on every Raw every week, which actually makes it kind of good, because if you see him every week, the nostalgia feel will go away after a while. Then we'll just feel him as a regular. But yeah, WWE Monday Night Raw was okay. Raw, the crowd wasn't that, it was okay, but everyone keeps saying the Miami crowd was so hot. The only reason Miami crowd was good last week, it wasn't a Miami crowd. It was a worldwide crowd full of marks, and it was a worldwide Raw, because everyone for WrestleMania that came around the world went to that Raw that night. Like probably at least more than half the crowd wasn't even from Miami. And that crowd was hot, and it was full of marks. And this crowd was just a regular Monday Night Raw crowd. And the thing is, why did they not put Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan, on Raw? He's so over with the crowd. There was a ton of yes signs. I know they might put him in a dark match to send their fans home happy to see him, but even though he's a heel, and isn't WWE's goal to make money, so why wouldn't they put him out there to a worldwide audience, him to get more exposure, let the crowd chant yes, let him get over with the fans, let him get over with the fans that are watching on TV, let people be like, oh, I'm behind Daniel Bryan, or, well, if you're a Bryan Danielson fan to this day, you're probably going to buy that yes shirt to support him. But yeah, I like Bryan Danielson, I like Daniel Bryan. I'm going to go buy his yes shirt. WWE gets more money, Bryan Danielson gets more money. Everyone's happy. It's a win-win situation. It's win-win-win for everyone. And I don't know why WWE doesn't want to put him on TV just let him even have a squash match or have a good match with Del Rio. If it was Del Rio versus Daniel Bryan, it would have been good. But they don't want to do that. But there's gonna be a live SmackDown Toronto, hopefully tomorrow, not Toronto. If I said that, yeah, it's tomorrow. So Danielson will be facing Big Show, I believe, in one of the matches I read. And it should be a good crowd if this yes phase continues. So yes. I'm happy for Bryan Danielson if he gets over. And then he'll probably be able to showcase his true wrestling abilities and be the guy in the company. One of the guys in the company, which he rightfully deserves. So yeah, that is it. Monday Night Raw, okay show. Some hits, some misses in the show, but we're checking out with the Lesnar segments for sure, and Extreme Rules, big match. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. That is my Raw review. Thanks for watching, and yes, that is all.